Good morning, everyone. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it. Ooh, we're going to have some really cold days here in the next so many days. And the power might go out, and who knows what else is going to happen, but it's going to be cold. Really cold. And we're all set. Not only that, but my husband's here, and he yesterday worked all day in the wood. and sometimes I wonder, men out there complaining about their women, and the women out there complaining about their men, and all the equality stuff that supposedly is still not happening, and I don't know what, and we need to complain about it, and and I don't know. Well, to me, the subject and object position in a unit of man and woman is very clear. The man is always going to be subject, and the woman is always object. And we have our positions in respect to that, and we have our jobs in respect to that. Now, you guys figure that out. But again, I will never, I have no interest in it, or will comply with women out there, maybe even guys, I don't know, and degrade our men. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. We all go through certain things in our lives, that the decisions that we made, either as a man or a woman, and the consequences are as such. Okay. But yesterday was one of those days again where, oh my gosh, I ended up helping carrying in some wood as well. And he was out there all day cutting wood. Then I mentioned, I used to be able to get all the wood down from the back of our house. There's always some branches laying there. We've got big storms here, lots of woods, and stuff comes down. And I like to keep things cleared up also in our driveway, so that if there is a fire, you're not feeding it extra. And so here he says, oh, okay. So he goes up, he starts, I'm watching, he clears up the whole hillside, throws it all down, right? Then I'm going, oh, yeah, there's a little pile over there of kindling stuff I put together because we had a tree fall on our roof, or a branch, and so we cut it up. That didn't damage the roof. It's not that big, but the branches were all over, so I'd collected them to dry them out over the summer, and I carried all that in and broke it up to take it in the house here. It's nice. Start with small kindling stuff. Don't have to chop it first. And then he went out there and he started chopping. My gosh, he's really into this. Started carrying wood in. Started cutting up the branches. Then suddenly I hear they're going out with the truck and starting to clear the driveway as well. I'm going, oh, came back with a big old load of that. My goodness, what's going on? Here I am. I just cooked all day. I made sure my husband was well fed. But again, even though I didn't do a whole lot, and I hurt from head to toe afterwards, it's just my body's kind of not, doesn't want to kind of work anymore in certain ways, So, and it was cold out there too. And he's out there and he's making sure that we're going to be warm here. That's a man right there, isn't it? Yeah, I know there's a lot of men out there like that. And as women, if we can't be grateful for a blessing like that and see, right? Yes, then we just acknowledge, okay, well, look at this great thing, this work he just put into all of this, with the little help from us. And Just so grateful, just grateful, grateful to have. Huh? I sat here this morning and said, man, he's sure been useful. Handy to have around. As women, we have to just acknowledge how handy our men are to have around and be grateful and regard it as a blessing. Yes? Yeah. Then, as I said, I made sure I cooked. I cooked 3 meals yesterday. Yeah. Make sure that he's all the energy that he's putting into this, that something can kind of re-energized him again too. Oh, so I don't mind. I don't mind the position as a woman, a wife, a mother, who cares, takes care of things at home, and helps out in other ways too. This snippet, I love that. I can't see how any woman wouldn't love that. And then see your fruits as well as a woman. Later on with your children, you were there. You didn't have other people raising them, right? So you could go to work full time, this, that. Okay, no, for some that's a necessity. I get that too, yet. Just saying. Then, well, then you have to take the consequences that come with that, right? Yes? I remember we lived on a very small salary. Right? My husband going to work and I stay home with the children and homeschooled. It's now always made a little extra money on the side, okay? Yeah, I used to be very energetic. I don't know where that all went. And it was fine. It was just fine. It worked out just fine. Yeah. And I think too, if we start to kind of just realize again what's the position of a subject and an object, and honor that and understand that, then restoration in our family can happen as well. Yeah, it's going to take some generations to really, right? Yes, but one can't give up. One keeps going. And then while we're keep going, while we're living our life, spiritually growing, and go towards God's heart, towards God's point of view and ideal, we also start to understand how valuable, as a woman now talking, men are to us. How amazing it is to just be able to. I'm going to stay in a nice warm house. I'm just going to cook, right? Keep things clean around now. We'll help out and see what is needed. But the work that he did yesterday with the wood, that's our primary heat here. It's amazing. It's just amazing. I'm so grateful and happy and thankful and all that comes with it. So when it comes to all that, a little more being grateful for our subjects out there, and men, and they're doing a really good job. I might encouraged him to do even better in other things, right? Yes? Like, okay, I'm not going to go there. And maybe men who are watching this, yes? Well, anyway, there you go. A lot of men are expecting that women how to work, this and that, right? Okay. A little less complaining going on. And really be grateful for what we actually have with each other. All right. That's what I wanted to share this morning. Could have shared something else, but I'm only leave that for the discussion group. All right, we are in Exodus 4. Moses granted miraculous powers. Ooh. Kind of goes right along, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Men are capable of amazing things when they put their mind to it. seen that. Moses replied as follows. Okay, what was it before? Oh, yeah, he goes and tells the Israelites. But suppose they will not believe me. So, we've gone back. We're still on that one. Moses replied as follows to God. He's still talking with God. But suppose they will not believe me or listen to my words and say to me, Yahweh has not appeared to you. Yahweh then said, What is that in your hand? A staff, he said. Throw it on the ground, said Yahweh. Moses threw it on the ground. The staff turned into a snake, and Moses recoiled from it. Yahweh then said to Moses, Reach out your hand and catch it by the tail. He reached out his hand, caught it, and in his hand it turned back into a staff. Thus they may believe that Yahweh, the God of their ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has appeared to you. Next Yahweh said to him, Put your hand inside your tunic. He put his hand inside his tunic, then drew it out again, and his hand was diseased, white as snow. Yahweh then said, Put your hand back into inside your tunic. He put his hand back inside his tunic, and when he drew it out, there it was restored, just like the rest of his flesh. Even so, should they not believe you, nor be convinced by the first sign, the second sign will convince them. But should they not be convinced by either of these two signs, and refuse to listen to what you say, you are to take some water from the river and pour it on the ground, and the water you have taken from the river will turn to blood on the dry land. So here we go with the miracle stuff, okay? And again, it's like so long ago, the pagan stuff and all that kind of, the gods that the Egyptians believed in and all this stuff. It seemed like, I said, how do fairy tales and not just fairy tales, but these weird, just gross things, how have they come to be? This stuff, like I said, none of these miracles is good, is it? I mean, they're not. They're all to kind of warn and scare, right? To make someone afraid. I'm not sure that God would actually do that. Why not show something beautiful, right? I don't know. The staff could have turned into a beautiful vine of flowers or something. Would that have been different than the snake? Because it's all things to scare, right? And I'm not sure that God actually would do that. That doesn't quite make sense. I'm not sure about the story and on how did God actually guide Moses? Was it that, or is this kind of just written again in a way to show how you have to fear God? Right? Is it? That's not the God I know. Right? Yes, but again, I wasn't there, so I'm not sure who wrote this down and why was it written down in the way it was written down. Was it exactly like that? Or did God give Moses, okay, this is how you present your words, the strength that should come from within you. And when they see your strength, then they'll have to contemplate, oh, there's something going on here that we may not be aware of. And yes, in a way, that's, if that were just in here and how God guided Moses with the words that he had to say, then to convince, and were they convinced? They weren't. So that didn't scare them either way. So I would say that the insecurities that Moses still had about all this and the way he presented his case to the Pharaoh probably wasn't quite as strong as it should have been. Right? Yes? I don't know. I have no idea. I wasn't there yet. Again, I question, did God put the fear? Does God put the fear in people? I don't think so. We figure we do that all on our own. A lot of people have a great imagination when it comes to things, right? But when one really actually looks at the situation, you suddenly go, wait a second. What part did I play in all this? What part does another person play? And how could that have been avoided? Yes? Well, in any case, so it's questionable to me. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but did it happen in this way? I don't know. Oh, well, here we go. Aaron, the mouthpiece of Moses. What did I say about Moses' insecurities? He couldn't, right? So then, how does Moses? Okay, let's just read it. Moses said to Yahweh, "Please, my Lord, I have never been eloquent." Well, okay, right there. What did I just say beforehand? Right? Well, if he does with the staff what God told him to do, then with the hand, then what was the third thing? I can't remember now. Already? Oh, that's bad. Oh, the river with the blood. Right there, he says, "Well, I'm not eloquent." Okay, you don't have to be eloquent to just do what three things, right? That don't need to take any words to snap. And yet he was worried. So again, did actually God try to tell him, coach him on what to say rather than do? Right? I'm just saying, right? It's a little bit controversial here on what actually happened and on how God was trying to tell Moses to get his people out of Egypt and how to do that. I have never been eloquent, even since you have spoken to your servant, for I am slow and hesitant of speech. Oh, there it goes again. Speech. It's about speech. It's about giving the word of God. Who gave a person a mouth? Yahweh said to him. Who makes a person dumb or deaf, gives sight or makes blind? Is it not I, Yahweh? There we go again, the strength. Right? Why do you not believe? Just believe in what the words I give you. Now go, I shall help you speak and instruct you what to say. Ah, well, there we go again. Please, my lord, Moses replied, send anyone you decide to send. Moses still says, even though God is encouraging him every which way. That's the God I know, right? And Moses like, okay, come on now, please. I can't do this. Again, you can't throw a staff on the ground. You can't go and get a cup in the river. You can't, right? Just put your hand in and take it out. It wasn't about that, was it? It was not about that. The whole thing is not about that. It's about what to give when you speak your words. And Moses is still can't believe. It's a difficult thing to deliver anything in its proper way if you don't believe. If you're not convinced, this is it. I have to stand strict and straight about that. Yes? Yeah? At this, Yahweh's anger kindled against Moses, most likely just, oh my gosh, come on now. And he said to him, there is your brother Aaron, the Levite, is there not? I know that he is a good speaker. Here he comes to meet you. When he sees you, his heart will be full of joy. You will speak to him and tell him what message to give. I shall help you speak, and him too, and instruct you what to do. He will speak to the people in your place. He will be your mouthpiece, and you will be as the God inspiring him. And take the staff in your hand. With this, you will perform the signs. Okay, so here the signs come up again. But the main conflict was what, right? And here is Aaron. Yeah. It's an interesting one in many ways. Oh, reminds me. So when you are accused of something or you want to do something, you have to have a lawyer. Aaron, the first lawyer. Oh my gosh, okay. Moses leaves Midian and returns to Egypt. Moses went back to his father-in-law Jethro and said to him, give me leave to return to my kinsmen in Egypt and see if they are still alive. And Jethro said to Moses, go in peace. Yahweh said to Moses in Midian, go return to Egypt, for all those who wanted to kill you are dead." So Moses took his wife and his son, and putting them on a donkey, started back for Egypt. And Moses took the staff of God in his hand. Oh, interesting. Moses took his wife and his son, and putting them on a donkey. That brings something to mind. I'll tell you what, these stories all seem to be kind of intertwined, and you never know what you're going to get. Like the box of chocolates. Yahweh said, and took the staff of God in his hand. Yahweh said to Moses, "Think of the wonders I have given you power to perform. Once you are back in Egypt, you are to perform them before Pharaoh. But I myself shall make him obstinate, and he will not let the people go." What? You will then say to Pharaoh, "This is what Yahweh says. Israel is my firstborn son. I told you, let my son go and worship me. But since you refuse to let him go, well then, I shall put your firstborn son to death." Uh, well, I can't see God following in the footsteps of evil, of killing innocent babies or innocent children or innocent adults per se, so that he can have what he wants for his people. So again, I have to question some of the way that things are written down. Do I have all the answers? Not really. I don't. As I said, I know that there are people out there who are trying to get into the head of, especially when there's a crime committed, what do they call, profilers and stuff, and trying to figure out how a person commits a crime or this or that. Or then there is people trying to figure out on how do I get people to follow a certain trend, what needs to be said, what needs to be done, right, to ensnare the people, right? I can't see God being like that. That I can't. That's not, doesn't make any sense to me. So again, what are the meanings of these stories? I think personally, and it kind of goes along with what I said in the beginning. Count your blessings. Stay strong with your blessings. Know what the right thing and the wrong thing is, what the right thing to do, and you stick with that path regardless, right? And you teach along the way. Yeah, as far as, right? Again, so on top of that, God's going to make the Pharaoh obstinate, not agreeable or anything, but so what? So I'm not get. Why would God do that? Why is that in there? Again, is that to encourage Moses? Saying, well, you need to go. You just need to go. So is he more trying to encourage Moses? You'll be safe. Moses must be really scared to do this. Okay, and so is it more to entice? Entice Moses. Moses doesn't have much faith, does he? Well, then he didn't grow up necessarily with all that faith, right, and belief in God. So God's really trying to find a way. I'm going to have to just give him the. Okay, don't worry. Just don't worry. It's going to happen. But you're going to have to do your part in this, right? Yes? Be strong. Don't be afraid. And kind of, it has to put some things in there that they're going to get their just desserts, and they're going to get it in this way. Yeah, sounds like a little bit vigilante, doesn't it? Yeah. Again, I'm not sure on how this is all, why this is all written down the way it is, but I believe it really misrepresents God and what really actually happened. But anyway, I'm not doubting the Bible. I just don't think it's all right. There's something not quite right here. It can't be. That's not. Well, would God resort to crime? Would God resort to killing the innocent? To just. I don't think so. That's not our God. It's not our God. Moses leaves Midian and returns to Egypt. Moses went back to his father in law. Okay, wait a minute. We're already done with that. The son of Moses circumcised. Oh, here we go again with that. On the journey, when we had halted for the night, Yahweh encountered him and tried to kill him. What? How the heck does that make any sense? Then Zipporah, taking up a flint, cut off her son's foreskin, and with it touched his feet and said, "You are my blood bridegroom." So he let him go. She said, "Blood bridegroom," then, with reference to the circumcision. Oh, okay. I have no idea why that isn't. Why would God want to kill Moses now? I don't know what happened there, but it's a weird. It's just a weird one. This is weird. Doesn't make any sense. But again, if you want to make sense out of it, you've got to make God into something He isn't, and that is again. I'm saying, no, that can't be our God. That's not our God. He's not like that. Well, how do I know? Because I've lived long enough now to see the beauty around me, the things that happen, things that you can't stop, the things that you can't change, and the things that you just follow without questioning this, that. Oh, you don't. Even if you don't question, even if you question, just wait for the answer. If you don't question, the answer still comes. But as far as, from what I've seen, if the people do the right thing, if the people steadfast, follow God's will, God's point of view and ideal, their life is going to be blessed, regardless. It's not going to matter. So, not sure what happened here. If suddenly they were going to turn around and something needed to be done, and I don't know. Here's a woman kind of realizing what the danger and what hurts her own little child, and says, okay, I'm not getting that." Yeah, probably something else where Moses is taking this lady with him and his wife, and what did I talk to about before? She steps in and something happened, and she steps in and she, again, with some action, at that, this is what it was, encourages Moses to keep going. No. We're doing this as a team, right? Yes? I'm not sure. I don't know. I wasn't there. But again, it doesn't make sense. Why would, on the journey when he had halted for the night, Yahweh encountered him and tried to kill him? Well, that's counterproductive. Well, anyway, Moses meets Aaron. Yahweh said to Aaron, "Go into the desert to meet Moses." So he went and met him at the mountain of God and kissed him. Moses then told Aaron all that Yahweh had said when sending him and all the signs he had ordered him to perform. Moses and Aaron then went and gathered all the elders of the Israelites together, and Aaron repeated everything that Yahweh and had said to Moses, and in the sight of the people performed the signs. The people were convinced, and they rejoiced that Yahweh had visited the Israelites and seen their misery, and they bowed to the ground in worship. Okay, there you go. My pen broke. That is it for Exodus 4. What a fantastic story in so many ways. Why read the Bible, right? It's all stuff that happened so long ago. Now it's just their stories, right? Are they? Or, right? In many ways, we look at these stories. There was one thing I didn't grow up with as a Catholic, as a child, is you just pray to God. You pray at God. You pray, but really a relationship with God. Yeah, well, you have that with Jesus, but even Jesus, right? So exalted, so then, and I mean, it's all just parts of worship, right? But when I encountered true Father and the divine principle and the true Mother, it was encouraged to build a relationship with God. That's oh, really? That's interesting. Yeah, I love that. I love that more than anything else. We're allowed to do that? Well, yeah, okay. I think many stories in the Bible and the way they are written down, again, how do you keep people kind of in line? There's a lot of scare tactics going on. I'm not happy with because, as I said, I encountered God just very, very differently. And surely our God, our one God, doesn't just change from one person to the other, right? I can't see that, right? Right? We do that. We're the ones who put on masks, this and that. I don't think God does that. And so with the with these stories, there you almost have to try and find, okay, which part of it is actually the given part, the given word of God. Well, we're not stupid. Right? We're quite clever and smart, and we can, as I said, build a relationship with God. And you read the Bible and gone, interesting. So many problems that we have in the world today, problems that we're not willing to change, not willing to give up, and or change a little bit the view of and how we see each other, even as husband and wife, or as men and women, and just really appreciate what there is to be so grateful for, appreciate, and I think that in in God's eyes, God's point of view, there was something really good in Moses. Something that, and he could have, why did he not choose Aaron? If Aaron is the better speaker, he could just, why did he not go to Aaron? Why did he choose Moses? Yeah. Why? Because I guess God saw that there was a strength in Moses that's just not never been challenged. Right? And if the also the relationship, right, on both the Egyptian and the Israelites, that Moses was kind of right in between. Again, what was restored there? Yeah, I'm not sure. It takes deeper understanding. If you look at things from suddenly a different viewpoint, right? Rather than something that's been accepted for thousands of years, and go, wait a second. Has anybody ever thought of that? That kind of doesn't make sense. God would not do this, right? Not in that way. But what did he instruct to actually do? Right? What did he actually do? Right? And was everybody given a chance to do what? To follow. Oh, so we have to follow God. Is that even necessary? Well, I think it is. In order to understand the principles of creation and the principles of love, you need to know the author. You need to know the author and the creator of it all, the artist. And the better you get to know the artist, the creator, and the author, right, of our surroundings and ourselves, then guess what? Most likely, the better your life will be. The greater the input, and even greater the output towards others, right? That's kind of how I see it. Complicated, maybe. Well, anyway, that was Exodus 4. Very interesting. And there are men at work, and let's see what else they're going to do, right? Men at work. I said, there's Aaron, and yet we have to be grateful towards Moses and Aaron. They took up the job to get the Israelites out of Egypt, out of their misery. Yes? Yeah? Oh, maybe that's what the story is all about. Men taking responsibility. Yeah? And I don't think it's to slaughter and kill others. I think it's to remove people out of danger. Remove the people to the proper freedom. Right? Yes? What God always say? I'm going to bless you. I'm going to give you a land of milk and honey. But you got to leave. You have to leave now. It's not going to happen there anymore. Right? Yes? Huh? Interesting? Huh? See, one can keep talking and suddenly. Oh. Right? Okay. God's love and blessings always. Please all, if you're living in really cold temperatures now, like I do, like many do, please, I hope you stay warm. I pray that you will be warm. Yes. Have a good man around who helps you out with that if you're a woman with children. May God protect you, bless you, and I will talk to you all another time.